Shalom everyone, hello. My name is Yedidya and I'm very happy and honored to be here with you today. Today I want to focus on the story of my community, our community, the community of Chalutza. The Chalutza area, which is a mock-up of three communities, Shlomit, Bnei Netzarim and Naveh, which was founded by pioneers, by heroes who were evacuated from their home in Gaza. And after the disengagement from the Gaza Strip, they, instead of being negative and upset towards the government that sent them away from their homes, they chose the positive side. And they went to the government and asked for the next national mission, and the government sent them to this place called Chalutza, which was a total desert that no one has ever was able to plant any tree or bush, build a home. There was no life before 2005. But in 2005, there was a group of 15 families that when the government said, this is where we need the next national mission, they said, Hineni, here I am, you can count on me. And they went and started building in the sand dunes, in the desert, and creating an oasis. Acre by after acre after acre, family after family moving into the community. Not many people believed in us, but it was that spirit, that's Jewish Zionistic pioneering spirit that was there in the early days of the pioneers in the 20th century. It was that spirit that gave us the strength and the determination and the energy and enthusiasm to continue in building against all odds. And today, Chalutza is an area of three communities, no longer just 15 families, that is responsible of growing over 82 different species of fruits and vegetables. With 3 inches annual rain, we export to 50 different countries. If you go there today, you wouldn't believe this place was once total desert. You wouldn't believe that once some people said life can be here, and that there is once going to happen this incredible agriculture that is going on. But being a pioneer, you face many challenges, being far away from the center of life, from banks and medical centers and shopping centers and schools. So we had to create everything. This is where JNF came in. They became our #1 partner. One of the challenges is also the weather. It's 120 degrees on a good day with sandstorms. And obviously, the biggest challenge and obstacle that we had was the terrorists, the terror threats from Hamas in Gaza and from ISIS in Egypt. We've been facing it from basically day one since we moved to the area. On October 7th of 2023, I was there with my family in our home, laying down, sleeping. It was 6:28 in the morning when the first explosions started be heard in the community. And I remember the sirens so loud. We got out of our beds, we ran, together with my wife, grabbing our 2 girls who were sleeping in the nearby room, running to the safe room where my 2 other kids are in. And we're there with our kids and seeing them with these wide open eyes, in this frozen face. You could see the fear in their eyes. It was something that when I think about it, even when I'm speaking to you, I have this crazy feeling in me. How in the world we allowed our kids go through such feelings. No kids in the world should go through anything like that. And after 10 minutes of hearing the explosions and my kids crying and feeling the house shake, the electricity goes out, we're in total blackout. And a few minutes later, it gets a bit quiet. I come out of the shelter only to find out that there are terrorists who are breaking into different communities, and terrorists that are going from house to house in different communities, and then we get a phone call from a nearby community of Prigan, and they seek for help. They say, we have terrorists in our community, there's nobody to fight there, we need help. And our first response team, which is responsible for the security of the community, makes a very tough decision, a very brave and heroic decision to leave the community and go fight in Prigan, and reminding you the terrorists were mobilizing with motorcycles and pickup trucks. They could have gone to any community within minutes, but still the first responding made the decision that right now there is a Jew in danger, so we leave everything and we go help him, and the community will be okay, God willing. And they left, and in Prigan there were terrorists who were already inside the people's houses working to open the bomb shelters. These were not just regular terrorists, this was the Nukhba terrorists, the special forces of Hamas. And maybe it's a minute away before they break into the shelters. The first response teams arrive there, and the families just already sending goodbyes to their friends and to their family. And they start fighting. They start fighting with the terrorists and pulling them out of the houses. And on a 2-hour battle, a very harsh and bloody battle, the first response team of Shlomit, of Chalutza, makes a move to kick out and chase away the terrorists, and basically able to chase them away and save the entire community of Prigan. This act of heroism will forever be written on the pages of the State of Israel. Not even one single person from that community was killed or wounded, but our community paid a very heavy price. Of 4 of our friends, or 4 of my closest friends, were killed on the battle in Prigan, the battles of October 7th. Aviad Cohen, Reuven Shishportish, Bechor Swede, and Uriel Bibi, leaving behind 15 children who will never see their father again. 4 others were injured, 2 of them very, very badly. And this tiny community of Shlomit, of 85 families, almost 10% of the community, men, were either killed or wounded. And it's something that shatters your heart. The next day, we were evacuated from our homes. We were sent to a hotel where we stayed in for 6 months. You know what it's like to live in a hotel with your family? You know, it's nice to go on a vacation, even though we were in a nice hotel. But it's nice for 2 or 3 days. But when you're with your kids, you need to do laundry, and your kids, they want to eat. There are only 3 meals a day in set times. It's not your home. They don't have their toys. They don't have their bed. Everybody's in the same room for 6 months. And during those 6 months, me and all the other guys, we were called up to fight in Gaza. And I fought in Gaza. But after 6 months, the army said it's okay to come back. And what does it mean it's okay to come back? Where do you come back? To the place where we lost our friends? To the place where we lost trust in all the security forces of Israel because they weren't there to protect us on October 7th? What do? The natural reaction would be, I'm never going back there. I'll go elsewhere. But now when it comes to our community, and we made a gathering, and at the gathering, we said, okay, we're going to vote who wants to come back because we're doing our decision as a community. So whatever the majority wants, this is what will happen. And then one of the widows, she stood up and she said, guys, before you make your decision, remember that my husband was killed protecting the area. And my husband is also one of the founders of the community. And if my husband was here, he would want us to go back, because this is our victory. By going back, by returning to our homes, by rebuilding everything that was destroyed, but not just rebuilding, tripling, and even 10 times bigger than what we had before. After she sat down, everybody was speechless. How could you vote anything else? And she needs to go back to the house while war is going on, knowing that she's going to be by herself. She's not going to have a husband to protect her. And we made the decision as a community to go back. And on March 1st, we returned to our homes on 2024. JNF was there for us. We were with Jewish National Fund from really day one of the building of the community. But really, JNF was there. They brought a mission, the Brotherhood mission came with us. The first thing we did, we laid the cornerstone for a new daycare center. For the hundreds of more families that will come, we'll have a safe place for their babies. And today this building is in construction and more families are moving in. To tell you that it was easy, it wasn't. But the heroism of Shlomit, of Chalutza, it's a way of life. It's in our DNA. From day one, when we decided to go and live in an area that nobody believed in an area that has so many challenges, in a scary area, because we know that we want to be the pioneers. We want to continue building the state of Israel. We want to do something because we know that most people won't do it. And the state of Israel was built on the backs of those pioneers who started building this tiny city of Tel Aviv. Yes, those were pioneers, those who came out of the old city and built the modern Jerusalem that we know today. Those were pioneers. So in Chalutza and in the Negev, it's going to be built only by those pioneers. You can't hire somebody to do it for you. You have to be there. And this is where the strength comes from. Chalutza, since we came back, about 35 families joined us. 2 of the families are siblings of people who were killed on October 7th. We're building a daycare center and a community center. We're now building a trauma center. We're working to build the future of the state of Israel. Because on October 7th, everything started from the Gaza envelope, the anti-Semitism, the fighting, the hate. It didn't start, but it all floated on October 7th. And this is where the answer. And we're powered by the World Zionist Village. We're powered by all of you. Each and every one of you sitting here, each and every one of you who's watching us. You live in different countries, but we're all one. And we are all doing it together. And you give us strength to continue. You give us strength to rise up and not give up. And thanks to you, we're able to actually get up in the morning. And our Iron Dome, thanks to you, we have a daycare center that I can send my kids and a safe kindergarten. Thanks to you, soon I'll be able to send my kids 5-minute walk to an after-school activity. And thanks to you, we're able to never feel alone. Am Yisrael Chai. Toda Rabba. Thank you so much.